So the field of toxicology, and this is clinical toxicology, I'm a physician who takes care of patients who are poisoned. A very small group of us. We pretty much all know each other worldwide. We, as part of our specialty and the training that my fellows now undergo, have to know every toxin that's potentially out there. This goes into industrial toxins, medications, herbals, weapons of mass destruction, criminal poisoning, natural toxins, snake bites, all of them are in our clinical practice, and we're responsible for all of them. And we're really the experts on differential diagnosis. In other words, cases are presented to us with a spectrum of signs and symptoms, and we narrow the playing field for our analytical chemists to try and figure out what it is. Our team has been really dedicated to helping various groups, Department of Justice, our local law enforcement, the FBI, and other teams when certain criminal cases come forward. Calvin's always exemplified service. We didn't come out of Calvin looking to have huge economic gains, money, other things. It was about service and how do you serve back to humanity. And in my profession, that's key too, because a big part of my practice is people who are suicidal, who are overdosing, people who are drug abusers, who overdose. Toddlers who get into things and parents who feel horrible about that. And then, there's criminal and other aspects. It's a pretty brutal environment in which I work. A lot of the depravity of society I see, and that's including emergency medicine, which I also still practice. I think Calvin does a great job of graduates who go into society of service. Every day there's kind of intriguing cases that come in to our service. And certainly the criminal cases are the most complex. I will serve and testify and help the teams for prosecution. So I think as a society, we really need to make sure we care for the vulnerable. We make sure that bureaucracies are held accountable, but when we fail and crimes occur, we have to make sure that justice is brought. I really think that we have a role, especially if we're given certain gifts, to care for the vulnerable. The fun of my job is the youth. You have this youth that comes through, and I learned that from Calvin too. The profs were fantastic, dedicated to the students, and certainly some of them could have had careers making a lot more money in other areas, but it's obvious that they did this to work with the students, and you can make some really big impacts on students' lives. And so truly, if you really look at what drives me, it's that. There's not enough time in the day because there is so much work to be done in those areas. And I think Calvin taught us all that well. Liberal arts education, you really, and going back to the critical incident analysis group, it's multidisciplinary, and the only way to know what the other disciplines do is to have that liberal arts education. What are the other expertise in other fields? Liberal arts education, that is absolutely where we need to be if we want to have educated citizens who serve in the future.